Hey guys, Dan the R.B.R.T guy back with you again. Hey, thank you so much for coming back this week and checking out the new video. So this week, guys, we head up to Mooresville, North Carolina. It's a little town just outside of Lake Norman. A husband and wife distributor team, Walt and Kim Sova, asked me to come up and spend the day demonstrating R.B.R.T to their customers at their appreciation event. You guys know how much I love demoing this R.B.R.T. The really cool thing about this day was where Walt had this event. It was at a place called the GoPro Motorplex. And if you've never heard of it, this is a full-on go-kart racetrack. For just a couple of bucks, you can get into a go-kart and go screaming around this track at speeds of up to 55 miles an hour. It was easily the fastest go-kart I've ever seen. And I'll tell you what, guys, the staff was amazing. The place is great. If you are anywhere near Lake Norman or Mooresville, you've got to stop in and check this place out. They run rain or shine. It's a good time. So do me a favor, settle back in. I'm demoing some of the R.B.R.T to Walt's customers. I'm sure you're going to enjoy it. I've got a little bit of video of the racetrack as well. I'll see you at the break. So the first tool that we designed was a new hex, okay? And in the demo block, I've got a good hex fastener, and I've got one that's been drill rounded out in the 90% range, okay? And I have a standard conventional hex tool to show that it fits in the good one like it should, right? Put it into the drilled one, and this is what we're gonna get. There's absolutely no chance that's gonna come out, right? Now, when we put a tool into a fastener and we apply torque, all of that pressure gets exerted to the corners, and it rips that bolt, the inside of that cavity apart, rounds it over, right? This is what my hex looks like. It has some very interesting machines grooved into it, U-channels and some flat spots, so that when we put it into the good one, I want you to notice that those corners bite in, and the relief cuts allows the pressure to be pulled inward to the center, rather than pushing to the corners, okay? The design won't strip them to begin with. It truly is quite great. It can be used in good fasteners, just like any other conventional tool, and it will not strip them to begin with, okay? Because I pull that pressure inward. But when you come across one that's been rounded out, I will hand you the demo block and give you the opportunity to feel the grip on one that you saw the snap-on one absolutely not get. Oh, yeah. It engages a fastener completely different. And because of the way that I grip and pull center, I can take out fasteners that are rounded in 90% range, but I don't strip them to begin with. So it really is kind of a best of both worlds scenario, okay?
That's cool.
I also have the design in a Torx bit, which is becoming the most prevalent fastener now. Oh, yeah. Hex used to be the one, but now it's Torx. A lot of GM, almost everything is Torx bits now. So in the demo block, once again, a good one, and one that's been drilled, rounded out in the 90% range. Conventional Torx tool. Fits fine, right? Tightens it down. When we put it into the damaged one, same kind of thing. Only a Torx doesn't strip like a hex. It doesn't spread, they cam out. And as they cam out under load, they chew the fastener up as it exits, right? So you can feel it. It's much more stable on a good one. and I can crack loose just like a regular fastener, you know, just like a regular conventional tool, and tighten it down. But you come to one that's been chewed up, and I will show you why, but go ahead and crack that one loose. Tighten her back down real good too. Go ahead and crack her loose. Okay guys, I just want to break in real quick and say this. As I travel around the country demonstrating R.B.R.T. to distributors, customers, one of the things, the main thing that never gets old for me is the look of surprise on these guys' faces when the conventional tool clearly will strip over and not get that fastener out of the block, and R.B.R.T. grabs in, bites down, and cracks those fasteners loose. You can just see it on their faces, the shock and surprise. That never gets old for me. Definitely one of my favorite parts about demoing R.B.R.T. Let's go back to the video and I'll see you at the end. Because of the way a Torx fastener strips when it cams, my design anchors down into the bottom where there's the good meat. There's always a little good meat at the bottom of a Torx bit, right? Mine accesses that and anchors itself down, so I'm able to not cam out in the first place, but then able to pull out ones that other ones will just simply knock it out. So that's my new Torx design.
That's cool.
Those are my bit socket solutions, and now if you have the time, I'll go into my other stuff. So I have solutions for broken bolts like snap bolts and easy out, and I have solutions for like a rounded 6-point, rounded bolts, okay? This is our new socket extractor. It has a bidirectional design. So unlike a twist socket that's fluted to the left, right, for removal, if you go to tighten with that or go in the tightening position, it spins itself off. It just won't grab to the right like it does to the left. It's only designed to remove. Mine is designed for both, tightening and loosening, okay? And I'll show you the benefits of that. This is what I use to demonstrate. It's 100% machine rounded bolt, okay? So we're gonna drop it into the vise, take our socket extractor and we'll pound it on there. Okay. Now once you bang these down on and they're engaged, they work exactly the same, forward or reverse, right? So what's the benefits of that? If you're working on a rusty bolt, sometimes you got to work it back and forth in the thread to get it loose, you know, sometimes, right? So my tool allows you to do that, right? Because you get just as much torque going that way as going that way, and you can see the bench vise is just struggling, it won't hold it. And I could, with a bigger vise, snap the head right off of that, okay? So let's say that we have removed the fastener, and you can see how I chewed it up. Okay. This is where my design really comes in cool, okay? If you're looking around the shop and you don't have a replacement bolt, you can put it back in because you can tighten down with it just as effectively. So let's say we go ahead and we put it back in and we've tightened it down. My little FOR rod comes in through the back like that, and it allows you to pull it off of the fastener. So it becomes a puller. You can tighten it down, and it'll just pop it right up off the fastener. And you can see the engagement of that, how it bit down in 6 different spots, and because it engages it exactly the same, the pressure's constant through the torque curve. That's why I can go forward and reverse, and it's just locked in tight, right? So you can, that forcing rod performs the 2 functions. When you remove it, you can push it out, right? Or you can put it back in and pop it off the fastener, tighten it down. Not only are they great for rounded bolts, but they are also wonderful for studs, exhaust flange studs. Now let's imagine that's a stud, right? So we're gonna remove that stud. We're gonna go ahead and tap it down on there. And on this particular demo, I am able to show you the grabbing power of these and just snap that right off because I've got this 6-point anchor down into the vise. it's not rounded, you know, trying to hold on. So the little rod spins in and pushes it off. So you can imagine if you were to bang that on like an exhaust, say an exhaust flange, right, that's threaded on the back side of the flange, and you bang it on the nut side and remove it, you could put it back in, as long as you don't tear the threads up trying to get it out of that flange. But if it doesn't come out politely, it's still coming out. And then you could use the rod to pop it back off the stud, or of course you can use it to remove the broken piece. Now, when you see the engagement is a nice clean cut.
Oh yeah.
So you can actually re-thread that back in. It'll thread back into like a cylinder head, or you could spin a nut down on top of that and it'll accept it just fine. So it doesn't damage the thread's ability to be reused. It's kind of cool, right? So they are fantastic stud removers. Unlike the silver ones with the floating ball bearings, you can't heat those up. They expand and they fly apart. They don't take heat real well. Mine, you can heat up the stud and pound it on and it's fine. There's no moving parts, right? So the last part of the demo I'll show you is on the good side with a good 6-point. Let's say that you're looking at a bolt and you're not sure about it, right? I mean, the 6 points are there, but it's rusty. It may give you a problem. You may round it out. You can preemptively use them, okay, on one that's not stripped, on a regular bolt, and it'll lock down just fine. And what I want to do is I want to show you the bite on a good bolt is right down the center of that flat. So it doesn't damage the bolt's ability to be reused. So you can use a regular tool on it later on. So if you put it back in and pop it off and you have to take that bolt out again another time, you can just use regular tools to do it. It doesn't damage the head of the bolt. So they can be reused preemptively. So that little forcing rod just truly adds a new level of versatility.
Other than putting it in the vise and counting it out.
Right. So they work fantastically on just about everything. And then the last thing I'll show you about how versatile these are is I'll use a regular Phillips head machine button head screw, right? Pop it down in there, and I'll use my number 7 and attack it from the outside of that head. And I can just grab that so well that I just snap the head right off. And then I'll take the forcing rod.
That's pretty cool.
Great bit of new technology. Alright guys, that's the video for this week. I hope you enjoyed it, and the video of the GoPro Motorplex facility. I'll tell you what, I can't say enough. That place was amazing. You have got to stop by and check it out. So do me a favor guys, give the video a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it. We're closing in on 1,500 subscribers, just amazing. And smash that bell so you can see when the next new R.B.R.T guy video comes out. I'm Dan the R.B.R.T guy. We'll see you next time. Thanks very much.